'Cause if I did, I'd be all the things I said I'm not. I miss my life like I miss the snow. Spent too long never saying no. Always caught up with wrong and right. Forever a battle in my mind. Losing sleep over little things that never equate to the bigger things. I feel insane at the best of times. It is what it feels like to lose my mind. To lose my mind. To lose my mind. To lose my mind. Hi, I'm Savannah. I'm a musician from Brighton, and you can catch me around the area every weekend. So hopefully see you there. And this is Lose My Mind. Where have you been lately? I've been searching for you. Counting stars daily. Just praying on one. I've been calling for some faith. 'Cause I can recognize my face. But who I am is a stranger. And I don't think I know her. All I've got is a phone line, but I can call myself. If I could with an answer, what would I talk about? Would it be a confession of my sins that I talk out loud? Would I dismiss them? Don't wanna acknowledge their existence. 'Cause if I did, I'd be all the things that I'm afraid of. 'Cause if I did, I'd be all the things I said I'm not. I miss my life like I miss the snow. Spent too long never saying no. Always caught up with wrong and right. Forever a battle in my mind. Losing sleep over little things that never equate to the bigger things. I feel insane at the best of times. Is this what it feels like to lose my mind?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful Savannah Hack. Hey! Well, thank you so much for coming back on. I feel like we've said this to you quite a few times today, but it's lovely to have you back
That's
on.
all right. Thank you for having me. It
Our
feels
pleasure.
like it's been forever.
It has been. It's been like, it was January, wasn't it, when we
I know.
last saw you? And
Crazy.
You're back in. What not to? Tell us all.
I've been taking a lot of time away to kind of reevaluate, I think, how I'm doing things, and it's led me to kind of make a decision to write an EP, which is really, really cool. Yeah, really exciting.
Whoop, whoop. So, is the new song that you're performing today going to be on the EP?
It is.
Whoa,
Yeah, it was actually the
exclusive.
first one. Yeah.
Exclusive Fresh
Yeah.
Produce skip there.
Oh,
Way.
yeah, super exciting.
But no, fantastic. Tell us a bit more about the EP. So what was the kind of conception? And so when you were away, did you just think we're going to sit down and do an EP? Was that the plan?
It actually kind of worked out really well because I was working with a studio and then they moved to London. And then an old friend who I've known since I was like 15 called Harry reached out and said, why don't we do some writing together? And he's a producer. So we wrote this first song actually, which I'm playing today.
Lose My Mind, shout out.
That's the one. And yeah, we wrote that together and it sounded just fantastic. It sounded so cool. And I'd been looking to kind of reach out and do something different because I'd just been releasing single after single and I wasn't actually really enjoying it. It wasn't really fulfilling what I wanted to do. So I was like, let's just do something that I write some music that I really feel true about. Let's get really creative, and I really love the production that Harry's done on the songs. So I was like, let's well, my first idea was let's release an album, and then I've gotten halfway through and gone, it's really fucking expensive.
Fair enough.
I was like, let's cut it down to an EP. I think I've always struggled to kind of find an accurate sound, or how I want my music to sound. And I've tried a lot of different things. I released an EP when I was 15 with a very live sound. And I really enjoyed the process of that and being in a studio, and it was really, really cool, and I was very young. But I think the sound, it wasn't exactly what I was going for with the songs. So, and then I've done a lot of stuff myself to really develop that sound. But Harry's almost like somehow managed to get into my head and bring the songs to life. There's a song I've written, which is like 2.5 years old now, and I gave it to him, and he's just like brought it to life like that, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
It's back.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
more, I think that's it. You take it, I think you get so locked in sometimes, don't you, how you kind of creatively look at something, and having somebody come in and kind of give it a new spin
Yeah.
gives it a whole new life.
Because we do everything remotely. So we'll just WhatsApp each other, and he'll send me something and I'll send him something, and we'll just bounce back and forth. And we've really managed to connect and create something so cool. That's really surprised me. I was a bit skeptical because I was just like, we're not in the same room together. Is it going to be a bit weird doing everything online? But no, it's been amazing. And he comes up with these really cool ideas, and it's so fascinating to give him a song or give him something that I've written. And he'll come back to me and say, can you do this? Can you do that? I need like a guitar in the chorus that's just one chord held throughout the thing. And I can't hear that in my head, but he can hear it in his, and I'm like, okay, and I'll do it. And then it'll come back, and I'll be like, oh my God, that's such a little addition to the song. It sounds great. I've been doing a lot of therapy and really trying to work on how I've been feeling, and especially since I've taken a lot of time off since March, the end of March. My life has pretty much drastically changed since this thing. So it's kind of lose my mind is almost about how much I've been in my head, and I really struggle between right and wrong, yes and no. And I'm always debating other people's side of things. I'm never actually sticking up for like what I believe in or what I want. So I think lose my mind was kind of it's about, how everything can just unravel in your head, and it's like a thought pancake. You think of one thing, then you think of something else, and then another thing, and then you're worried about something that doesn't exist. And the original thought is right down here.
Right, the bottom of that pancake
Yeah,
stack.
exactly. So it's just like you're thinking and worried about a thought that really is only a thought. It's not true. Whereas the thought down here is like you've completely pushed it to one side. If that makes sense.
That does make sense. Really lovely, actually. That's quite a really nice way of putting it. I feel quite inspired by that. That's lovely.
I'm glad.
Was there any sort of particular influence with sort of this, with the new sort of EP? Have you got anything that's sort of coming to mind, or anything you're pulling on to kind of construct this new sort of style?
I don't think so. I think what I'm really trying to focus on is actually doing things that how I feel in the moment. Like if I want to do something, I'll do it, and I'm doing that with like my entire life at the moment. So I'm not trying to push myself to do things where I really don't want to do it. And like dieting as well, that's been a massive thing for me, and I've completely taken a step back from that as well.
Love it.
So loads of things have really, I'm just like, I need to just do what I feel exactly, and the music's come out really naturally from it. Like if I'm not feeling in the mood to write, or it's not coming naturally, I won't push it. I'll just wait, and I seem to bounce back a lot faster from that. So
that's nice. It feels more natural, more true to yourself, as it were, which is a lovely way. That was such a lovely song as well. I think it definitely. I mean, obviously you've been doing music for such a long time, and we've worked with you before. Yeah. Sort of doing when I was young, when we did the video together. That was fantastic. The first big Fruitbox. One of the first big Fruitbox productions. Looking to Jack off camera there, being like, Jack, you were there, you remember, right?
I do.
There we go, love it.
I was there.
He was there, we were all there. In fact, actually, a fun fact for everybody on the camera, in fact, I can share this. Our clapperboard, which we famously have in most of our posts and whenever we do a fresh produce, has still, in fact, is Jack going to pass it over so we can show it on camera? Thank you very much. It's still, so cause the weather for when we first went out was not...
Oh, it's so crap.
It wasn't conducive.
No.
We went out to the top of Devil's Dyke, which is where you've done quite a lot of the shoot for some of the artwork and stuff. Yeah. We went out on this day, probably like the end of January, start of February time, and we got absolutely soaked in the pouring rain, in the icy cold. But it's what the effect has done is it's slightly, I don't know if you can see this, but it's slightly stained our clapperboard. Hold on, we'll give it to Jack. So it's permanently got Savannah's When I Was Young shoot mapped onto fruit.
It's just always, it'll forever be there now.
Bit of fruit box history there.
Oh, yeah.
That will...
There you go.
Because I have a lot more time at the moment, so I'm just doing gigs on the weekends really, and then for the rest of the week is kind of just focused on writing, and especially I feel like I've learned very quickly as well from working with so many of my mates at gigs, you know, with a lot of bands and functions and stuff. I work better when I'm working with someone, and I feel like because Harry and I really connect and click over these songs, it's really inspired me to be like more on it and more excited about the music, which is like what I think has been missing for quite a while, and I didn't realise that was missing.
I think that's it. Until you kind of get it pointed out and you're finding that spark almost. I think that's definitely a thing where you have that creative movement. So to kind of not to go too deep into this, but what's the EP sort of? I know you're kind of still in the constructing process of it, but how's it going to look? How many songs are going to be on there roughly? Do you have any idea on that, or?
I'm thinking about 6
Nice.
because honestly that's as much as I've got done,
Fair
or as
enough.
like we've done before I've realised that I have no money and like my bank account is incredibly low. So I reckon about 6, and then what I want to do is release a second EP with a lot of the songs that like we'd kind of talked about or I want to be on the album. So we're going to do 2 EPs instead of
A split
one
album.
album.
A split album, is it? Like,
Basically,
whoa.
yeah.
Should have 2 like mirror each other. You could have
That's
like
a
a
good
whole
idea.
design. Savannah, thank you so much for coming on.
That's right. Thank you for having
It's
me.
lovely to have you. It's a pleasure as always. And you are you're our second repeat guest. Actually, now it feels like a very cyclical moment because you were the first person we ever had on.
Yeah, crazy.
And now you're the 8th? Is this 6th episode we've done of Fresh Produce, and you're back. So
This
it's
is so
lovely to have you
exciting.
back. It's you and Joe that keep making repeat appearances now.
Oh, yeah.
So
Locked in.
That's the 5th episode I think he's been mentioned, actually, Joe. He keeps getting on every single episode. But there we go. Thank you so much, Savannah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, everybody. We shall see you hopefully soon.